one thing you could look at is look at one topic, let's say persistence, for example. If you say persistence, don't just post one day on persistence. Maybe you could look at the different dimensions of persistence. So for example, 1 week, let's say 1 week, you're only looking at persistence. You can look at persistence in the time you wake up. That's for 1 day. The next day, persistence in your routines, meaning the time you go to bed. Those are two different topics. Night routine and morning routine are different topics, but the night routine sets up for morning routine. It's like common basic knowledge, but people don't do it. We don't really do it. So that's how you can put it. The other thing,
like threads, like a thread, like a weekly thread, on a topic.
Okay. So you don't run out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that way you don't run out. So the next week, while you're in the same week, you think about another thing. If it's not the topic for the week, we're just going to write it down. So next week, there's already thoughts that have been planned ahead because you had your thoughts, but you were not pushing them all online. The same persistence, you can talk about persistence in your dreams, things you want in your life, how someone can be more present in what they do. That could be one thing. You can talk about the persistence side of that, where they don't just give up on their dreams and what they wish in their life, but they should put in the time. And you could say, I'm here to help you. If you're looking for someone, you always anchor yourself to how you can help the people on that topic. That's one. So I'm using persistence that I just gave you 3 days, morning, night routine. We talked about persistence in the goal and the lifestyle that someone wants to breed or wants to create. The other aspect maybe would be persistence in self-growth, persistence in self-improvement, how you are as a brother, how you are as a sister, how you are as a business person, as a teacher, as a mother. It's just an example, you know what I mean, right? So in 1 week, you have one topic, but it's going to be very well spread out. And right now, when we're talking, when your brain is thinking about different things, it sounds very basic, but you can have them jotted down so that this week you don't run out. Then the next week you go on another one. Sometimes you can talk about, for example, let's say kindness. Are you kind to yourself? Are you always hard on yourself? Because I know you're hard on yourself. Sometimes you look at things and you say, oh, I could do better. I can do much better. But then at times you can be like, okay, I gave my best, but I can do more to do better. So reframing again of language, how you like, kindness when it comes to people around you at times where you're more lenient, sometimes kindness in the people you meet, not just with family, but with work and stuff like that. So it can be really broad, just one topic, 1 week or 3-4 days, and then jump to another one. That way you won't run out of things to post, I think.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's good. So a few things I realized in the process,
Mm-hmm.
like I still didn't feel and probably still don't feel ready to go to do, as you said, like go live and coach people on the spot. I don't know, and it's probably mostly a fear of mine, like a psychological barrier more than anything else. Because I'm realizing that I talked with some friend, like the supportive ones, which are very little, as you know, like at the beginning, like it's very difficult to explain people. Like when I was playing, like my cousins, one of my cousins like texted me like, what the hell is this stuff? And I explained him and he didn't reply. Like, but that's fine. Like I don't expect them to understand like on the spot, and everyone is dealing with his own stuff. So I was talking with this friend of mine. She was really supportive. Like she saw on my trajectory and my stuff, and she told me like, no, you should continue. You should do that. Like she's very supportive. She tries to push me,
That's good.
and yeah, I think. And she told me like you should do that, like you should go and push yourself to do uncomfortable stuff.
Mhm. You know what you're saying right now reminds me of this phrase that I like. I didn't come up with it. I read it somewhere, but I don't remember where. It says, rely on other people's belief in you before you have your own belief. When you're strong enough, and then you can run on your own. So right now, if you have that outside person who feeds into your dream, who feeds into your belief of yourself, take it. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Keep on going. But make sure as you're taking that, you're also preparing yourself for believing in yourself more than anyone believes around you. But everyone, well, most people start like that. Even I had to start like that. Like I had my mom believe me in a certain area, but then I outgrew that and now it's all me. But the same thing obviously is going to be with you. You take it, run with it. And another way you can change your belief in yourself, this is a new trick I learned from, I'll share this one. I learned it from Elena Cadon. She's one of my mentors. The more you give
Mm.
yourself tasks to do, and you do small things that you give yourself goals, your self confidence will start growing. Any little thing, it could be just waking up in the morning and whatever. If you backslide on that, or maybe things around you are so negative and you keep on doubting yourself, it makes us doubt ourselves more. So it's very important that you start shielding your mind as well from other people's perspective, especially it could be family, it could be friends. If someone doesn't understand you, um, I struggled with this as well, and I can see maybe you are in the same spot right now. Try not to explain so much, because the expressions they give, even if they say nothing, that thing of
Mm.
it hits our guts. It hits.
No, I have to be honest, like that didn't bother me, like
Mhm.
almost at all. Like I was expecting like some cold reactions or some misunderstanding. Yeah, but I don't honestly care. That's not the issue. But the point you are making here is super important, I believe, because I knew the principle as well. Like that's the principle of chunking.
Mhm.
I think she got it from Tony Robbins, because Tony Robbins talk about that a lot.
Mm.
So basically, like to divide the big task, the big goal, or like the thing you want to achieve
Mhm.
in the small chunks, and then after you have divided in small chunks, you have to divide it in the smallest thing you can do in the next, I don't know, hour, or in the next 30 minutes, in the next 20 minutes.
Mhm.
So, and I'm kind of struggling with that because I read I was reading Traffic Secrets, the book by Russell Brunson,
Mhm.
and man, there is a lot of stuff there. Like he's saying, like all these strategies, how you should post online, and how you should look for your dream 100 on each platform, for podcast, for Instagram, for Facebook, for YouTube, like to study how they publish, how they express it, and it felt a bit overwhelming,
Mm.
like because uh, the thing is that when I face, that's I think a problem of mine, but it's also a struggle in general that I see a lot of people go through.
Mhm.
Like when you start to say, okay, I want to do that, probably that's the big goal, that's the big issue, whatever, and you see all these things you have to do, like I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to do that, and I have to do that, and I have to. So you see all these things and you say, oh my God, that's too much. Like
Mm.
how do people, and also me, as a consequence, like how, because starting small is like, it's like when I rationalize, it's like, okay, like just do one, like just to start by, I don't know, analyzing someone you like Tom Bilyeu. How does he post on Facebook, on Instagram, on podcasts? How does he start conversation, and all this stuff? But it's still, I don't know, like it
Lem-
sounds like a lot.
okay, I'm going to try and break it down for you. And please, if I speak too fast, or if it sounds too vague and foggy, tell me, because I would want to really help you on this point, because I think I can really help you on this one. I believe I can really help you on this one. So the way Tony Robbins, Tom Bailey, those people are so advanced, Richard Branson, when they talk about things, they make it sound so simple, but from someone who's starting one party entrepreneur, it's very, very hard. So when they say big chunks, oh, chunk it into small, it's like common basic knowledge to them. But I think if you're starting, let's say, for example, you're dehydrated, you don't have enough. Do you drink a lot of water?
I
Okay.
do.
Do you take vitamins every day? Okay. I wanted to get on one very simple thing. So let's say you don't take vitamins every day. Do not think about publishing. That's a level that they didn't start on, even them. So you have to look at where you are in life and where they are. If we compare ourselves to these giants who've got 100 people team, just someone who takes care of their laundry, someone who takes care of their breakfast, someone who cleans their shoes, they don't think all they have to do is that action. They preserve their energy to create that, the publishing and the stuff. It sounds very basic, but when you have to worry about small things, handling your bills and handling everything, it's a lot. So you have to think from, you're climbing the mountain from your first step. What's your first step? Let's say if it's just taking vitamins, making sure your surrounding is clean so that you don't feel congested, because you start with very basic. The more things clear up in the house, for example, and then let's say, don't think about publishing, just think about your story to say, I am starting to drink water every day, every 2 hours. When you just drink water, that basic thing, record yourself. I just had my water. You talk about hydration, how you feel about it. Just a very, very basic thing. The more you keep on doing that, it will come natural. Next thing is you start with a vitamin, or let's say if you start with waking up early, any small things, even if it's clearing your table, even if it's for an interview, how you feel, just connect with people on a personal level. So don't think so much about the publishing and the big things, because it's overwhelming. Your very basic things, but things that lead to a much clearer life, things that lead to you having more free time along the line, will help you. Because if you think about building a big business when there's so much small things that these huge brands don't think about, it's a big struggle. I don't know if you get me here. So last time I spoke about doing posts, you're doing great. If you read a book talking about publishing, self-awareness, or you're already opening your eyes, because it's a new concept that you weren't brought up with. You're getting a new programming from your brain. So when you're sleeping, your subconscious is trying to adjust to the new information you're getting. So the more you read, the more you get on. It's overworked there, and sometimes it feels like you're not moving, but you're actually moving, because you're not trying to maintain where you are. You're seeing a big vision of where you're going to go. So just by you trying to find who you are as a person who's aware of these new ways of looking at lives and growing, daily posts, just stick to that for now. The more you keep posting, your tone will be much better. You see, if you saw my posts that I put, I'm not talking about anything I do, because personally I'm working on coming out more authentic. So I don't want to be a Tony Robbins. I don't want to be a Dean. I want to be who I am. So I look for things that I find funny, and I connect with those, and people who like that part of me will automatically start latching on. The moment I talk about things that they feel, oh, this makes sense, I've already got their attention. So there's a strategy. So the same with you. Find things that you just enjoy, or things you're doing right now. It could be clearing the table, it could be sports, whatever it is. Post about it.
But do you mean like doing stories? Like, because I don't do stories. Like I always forget to do stories, because I have my routine. For example, like as soon as I wake up in the morning, I do a small workout, and then I meditate, and then I have my breakfast, and then I start my morning. Like usually now since I have the possibility, I'm reading for 1 hour. You know, I have my own habits, a ritual that sets me up, you know,
Okay.
that sets my day up.
Okay.
The thing is that, you know, probably I should be more clear on what is, you know, the small things I want to accomplish, you know, that day or that week, like the small stuff. Because if I still keep it, you know, on big picture or big chunks, like it still feels something so big, and I don't even know where to start, you know, where to start from. It's not about, I know about decluttering, I know about, you know, all the habits that you can use to implement energy and focus. I love that stuff. Like I try to do that, you know, the best I can. The thing is that still the big picture is scary. Like probably I know I have to be more specific and more, you know, focused. Like, you know, the smart goals, you know. The first letter is specific. Like how specific, how, you know, like that's where I struggle. Like I want to go like at the root. I want to go like, what is the smallest thing I can do now today, you know, to get some momentum. You
Okay.
know, also probably the thing about the stories, I'm probably always, you know, sort of, I it's so I told you, like I don't like social media too much. Like I struggle with that, like to let people see, you know, what I do on a regular basis, what is my life like. I don't know, probably it's just because I'm not used to it, as you say.
Okay. I understand, and it makes a lot of sense actually. I think the reason I spoke so much about stories is when you do the same thing you're doing, not changing your routine, but just posting about it, you're showing people a way of life that some people are maybe not even able to do. Not everybody manages to work out. You know what I mean? Not everybody managed to make a breakfast. They're always late at work. Just waking up early and having your routine of what you do, not everybody in the world has that. So already there are people who can learn from you just on that. So when you post, it's more about putting your energy out there in the world of a part of your life that maybe people can gravitate towards you and say, oh, can you teach me, how do you do this? Oh, this is very inspiring to see you that you do this in the morning. Because what you're creating there is a brand. That's it. Because you can create a sales funnel and post something there, but if people have never seen your growth, you know your growth, but people can't see it. You know what you can do or how you can help people, but people don't know. So even if you do a landing page, you do a website, you pay for that, it's perfect. Still, you are the missing ingredient. You are the trophy, like you are the Tony Robbins. You are the master of your show. It's in there. The only way the world can see it if you put it on the marketplace. So that's the reason I keep on going to stories and posting. I just want you to take out whatever is there to be put in there, even when sometimes it feels like it doesn't make sense. You're branding yourself. You're branding yourself. People around you, even if they don't say, they'll start seeing, oh, is this how he thinks? I didn't know he thought like this. Oh, they might not even say, sometimes they'll even laugh because it seems bizarre, but you're changing. You're changing. You're a caterpillar, you're becoming a butterfly now. So you're becoming a different animal. But how are people in the world going to know if you never show that? That's why we talk about posting so much, and that's why I keep on thinking about what you can show in your life, because I haven't really been in your shoes. But I really need the world to start seeing, even if it's just family, it's more possible for you to help the world than your family and people around you. That's one thing I've learned. When I was doing my transformation, I kept on wondering, how come Steve Jobs, how come Oprah Winfrey, how come Tony Robbins, they are all family are not like him? When he has all this knowledge, how come people around him don't think like that? And how come everyone can grow? But then I realize everybody's perception is different. So the people you might even connect to are not even the people around you who steal your stories, but they'll see someone struggling and they'll think, oh, my cousin there talks about something like this. They can connect the dots, or someone else will tap into the knowledge you have. But you can do a website, a landing page, that is. You can do a funnel, that's very important as well, but still you are the brand. So the best way I can know of you selling yourself is by just posting without doing advertisement, because you get better. By the time you do a paid ad to show yourself or the services you have, even if you wanted now, you could do it. You can target other areas away from your local place, so that you target people who don't know you. They're seeing this new person and they respect you more because they don't know. Sometimes it's hard for a sister or a cousin to see us as different. I think that builds on momentum. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, I think that's an important point, and you know, it all relates at the concept of the right people. You know, you don't want to target everyone, because when you start in your mind, like, I want to change everyone's life, you know, everyone that is around me, everyone that is beyond me, whatever. But probably it's you know, it's more useful and is proper to target people that have already started on the journey, like they already exposed to some ideas, they are already propense to spend money online for that, and to listen to other people for advices and whatever. And that's why also in the strategy I'm adopting now, like that's from Russell's book, but it makes sense. Like, start unfollowing on social all the people, like, I don't know, all the guys from elementary school or from middle school that I don't care about, and start following, you know, all these people and all these groups, you know, where they are congregating. The thing is, one of the things I wanted to ask you, like, now I subscribe to a good number, I would say, around 20-25 groups on Facebook. They are all about you know, personal growth, or let's say, for example, one is the one about Wayne Dyer, you know, like, so there is people that that is exposed to the idea, you know, of challenging yourself, of you know, there is more to life than just a job. And then, you know, I was, you know, thinking about ways to create, you know, to gain visibility, like first, like, to create debates, and then show that I'm able to give value, you know. How? Because I've never done it. Like, I was, okay, I'm gonna when I told you, like, last time, I know I have to do it, I'm gonna do it, and so on. And still, when I'm there, I'm like on the keyboard, I say, okay, what do I do? What should I type? Like, what
Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
That's a very difficult question for me, because I never got it. I think I'm an introvert, but I'm an extrovert type of introvert, in the sense that in the beginning I'm like really shy, especially that was like super clear with girls, especially girls that I liked, like super shy, like totally in my head and stuff like that. But as soon, like, as the conversation starts rolling, and you know, I'm able to talk about everything you can think about, like because I'm curious. Like, one of my biggest quality, I think, is being curious. Like, I know a lot of topics, I like a lot of topics, I like to go deep on a lot of topics. So like I love conversation. Like I told you, and I didn't tell you, but you know that I love to listen. For example, like I really love listening, and when you listen, you can you have the possibility to learn something new. You know, so I would say I'm an introvert mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Um, one thing I thought, you're following groups, which is good if you're in your tiger stage. You know what I mean? You're on the hunting stage when you've owned your craft and you can make sales and market like that. It's very good. But you have to see if you're in a stage where you can be the prey of other people, where you end up being wrapped around so many opinions. Because now you have to protect your mind that's coming up so that you hear your voice. You don't surround yourself with so many people, because in groups, it means that many people who are looking for a way out. And sometimes when you're in Facebook groups and many stuff like that, every time you go there, you're looking at different people's messages and people's thoughts. And so instead of pushing your message, you end up just seeing what's happening, maybe say one or two things and then leave. So you really have to see, are you going to be the prey or are you going to be the...
Actually, I would like to ask them questions, also because I want to understand what should I focus on, like what should I build on, like what does people need, in this area? What do they want help with?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. I'll tell you why. I'll explain. When you look at great inventors, you are an inventor. You are the master of your own world. You know what I mean? You're the master of the world you're going to create. You're going to be the Tony Robbins, you're going to be the Dean, you're going to be the Tom Bailey. What you do is you bring yourself to the table, you show people what they're missing, and they'll come to you because they want something you have. If you ask people, people don't know what they want. If you look at the iPhone, Steve Jobs didn't go, oh, do people want a phone or something like that? They just created it, but people really feel the need it. But before it wasn't there. People lived. So you have to find out exactly first, okay, I'm going to be coaching and people need me, because you have to focus and convince yourself that regardless of what money comes to you, people need your services more than they believe they need other stuff. So people are lost. They're in groups, cluttered and everything. They'll say, oh, I want this, but they won't buy it. Some people will be like, oh, yeah, this is good, but they don't really respond well when you actually give them the solution. So you go with, I have the solution. Just like the KBB, what they did. They said, well, we've got a way where you can take out what you have within yourself, and then how can you identify your gift and blah, 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 blah. We went to it, but we were not, they didn't ask us what we wanted. Just came out with a product. Tom Bailey, as well, the impact theory, he said, I want to make an impact on people's life, and I believe that people should hone this. They should take accountability, because it talks about so much accountability, taking ownership and stuff like that. Some of us who want accountability will be drawn to that. So he comes out with, what product am I taking out there? And then people who like what he's saying will start clutching on to the person. You know what I mean? So that's why I talk so much about what you're doing, because whatever you have inside there, even if it's not clear, the more you put out stuff, you start noticing a trend. Even if you look at your timeline, you look at your things, and the more you talk, the more you come out, the more your thoughts are going to evolve. What you say maybe 2 weeks before is going to be different, because you are going to grow from your thoughts. But if it's all kept there and you're bringing in new thoughts before the first ones develop, they'll start contradicting. That's why you get the overwhelmness. I don't know, does this make sense?
No, I'm thinking about it. I mean, it makes sense. Probably because I believe it makes sense for them, not because they are special, because they have 20, 30 years of experience in the field, But as I think of me as, just getting started, like it's just, testing what my potential customer or my niche or my market is looking for. Like,
Okay.
and that's while it's true that, like, yeah, you should have your own identity, message, product, whatever. It's also true on the other side that the more you go toward what they want rather than what they need, like what they want, the more, they're gonna be interested, they're gonna be, involved, they're gonna be active. And so I'm thinking about, how is it, what is a way in which, I can interact with them and, you know, and extract and understand what they need, and I will give them what they need, and in the meantime I will give them also what they need.
Okay, Fabrizio, is that how you pronounce your name?
Fabrizio.
Fabrizio.
Never mind.
Fabrizio, I'm sorry. I hear what you're saying, and I have a challenge for you. Whenever you think of something, anything, if you have the finances to do it, create a funnel landing page, even put $7 or $10, see how people respond. Idea, landing page, see how it reacts. So you just put it out there. If you can do advertising for $14 or $10 or zero, fine, push it out there, see if people are interested. Even if people are just looking and just filling in their information without even buying, you're getting contacts list and you're building your contact list. That's the other way, because you spoke about looking for something that you could do right now to feel you're moving the needle. That's one other thing, because thoughts never stop. The more you think, the more you read, the more you think, it will create more self-doubt. So you need a way to be taking out what's there and putting it on the marketplace.
No, but that's for sure. Like, the thing is that for the moment I don't even care about the marketplace. Like, I don't care about the paying customers. I care about, understanding how can I provide value, and I want to do this. I told you, like, in the first session, for free. Like, I want to start doing this for free because I know that I need testimonials, I need content, I need all the good stuff, that there will be, the fertile soil, like, underneath all I'm going to do. I just want to know, where should I focus? Also because that is a big struggle for me. Like, okay, it's personal growth, personal development, but about what? About clarity, about performance, about, um, that's the issue.
Well, I hear you, but I'm trying to take away the story, which is valid, but my job would remove that barrier and not be with you with a story, because everything you tell me will be valid and your thoughts, but I have to help you break that barrier. And the only way I know that I can help is by you actually just taking putting your feet in the water. So instead of thinking about what you're struggling about, maybe you could think about what is the marketplace, what's the marketplace like. You can create a funnel or landing page with you can create a video as well if you like, where you just talk about personal development and things that people can look at. It could be performance, it could be attitude, it could be anything. But all they have to put is their contact information. You don't have to charge. But the point is, you still have to see the game, because another way of looking at it, this is really a game. Business is a game, and every game has got stages, and you have to know what are the rules for the game, because regardless of what's happening in here, the marketplace is busy and you have to find a way to tap into it. Whether you're charging or not charging, it doesn't matter, but the point is you're just injecting yourself into it. So it's almost like you're taking a risk, a business risk, because the first risk was purchasing a program and learning, buying books, but the biggest risk is putting yourself out there. So it could be with a funnel without charging, it could be with posts, but you just need to be putting yourself out there. That's it.
I know that's 100% what this is about. This is about me going out in those Facebook groups, and and give them value, like understanding what is that people in this industry or like my ideal customer want, and reverse engineering and giving them what they want plus what they need. I don't know how to do that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not that I don't know how to do that. I know how to do that. Like you go on the group and you post something, but the way in which like you don't sound salesy, you don't sound like you are selling yourself, you don't sound like I'm the guru here. That's difficult for me.
Okay. Since we've established that you still need to post, I'll leave that one for now, and I'm going to touch another one. I think the biggest obstacle is identity right now, because there is this shift from who you used to be to who you're becoming. Your perspective, your worldview, since it's changing, and how you're going to come out. One thing when it comes to what you're doing, I think I would like to know, do you think you're a people person very much, or not really? You're like, whatever, I don't care. Like, what do you think your personality is? Because you need to find out that. There are people like The Rock. You know The Rock, right? The Rock really cares about other people's opinions, validations. So he plays the I don't care, but he can't stand people not liking him. So whatever he does is people pleasing. And there are people who don't really care about other people, and it's about other people's opinion of them. So you have to find out which identity you would find more peace with and center with. And then that's the person you have to mimic.
I used to be 100% people pleaser, but since I started this journey, I'm leaning toward the other direction. Like starting to care less of what people think, but still, like I'm a super empathic person. Like I do this like since, because I took it from my mother. Like it's almost, I would say, genetic. I know it's not genetic, but because I was immersed in it. And like my brother, he doesn't have it as much as me. Like because when someone like is telling me a story and stuff, like I don't have to think yeah, of course, like Gary Vee, I don't have to think about okay, what did you do next, and then what, like how did you feel when you said that? How did you feel, when you say that? Like, what's the story here? Or like, why did you feel that way? Like, I just did that. I do that like automatically, and but yeah, like much of my struggles were because I was people pleasing, and I didn't know that, but that was clear when I started. Like I was expecting something in return.
Okay.
That was the problem, like I was doing something nice, and even though like there wasn't an agreement or it wasn't an exchange, it was just me doing something kind of say, oh well, they should do something for me now. If I'm doing stuff like that, I don't care. Like I do I do something that I believe is something useful or is something helpful for someone. I don't want anything in return. Like I'm telling you something, I'm doing something for you because I want to do that, not because I I'm gonna receive something back. If I'm gonna receive something back, I know, like, the more I keep acting like this, the more I keep behaving like this, the more it will return back some way one day.
Okay. So now I understand that that's a loop which maybe that's a loop that's been holding you down a little bit, because there's culture, tradition, and being an empath. When you're not a narcissist, when you're an empath, your worldview, you feel other people's things, so you always care about what. I understand that. And luckily enough, I understand now that that's the reason you got attracted to people like Tony Robbins, because he's tough, but he's an empath. So because of this, I wrote down a few things because I didn't want to forget. Sorry about that. What I'm going to advise you now, with the books you've been reading, I'm going to change it a little bit. Do you enjoy watching movies and videos? Good.
That's where I started, actually.
Yeah,
But
great.
I actually am trying to, let's say, limit, because like, for example, I used to be now way less huge TV series and movie junkie.
Okay. Okay, good. So this is what I need you to do. I need you to focus on watching documentaries of all the greats. Steve Jobs' latest documentary, Oprah Winfrey's documentary, like
Mm.
the great people who were Steve Jobs. It wasn't
Sorry, where are these documentary, like, are they on Netflix?
Netflix.
All
Yep.
of them?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay, good.
Yeah. So focus on big achievers, because now what you're going to do is get their mindset. Because there's this thing that I realized and learned. You can be an empath with family, with charity, with people outside. But when it comes to like honing your craft and doing business on the marketplace, you have to be a beast. You know what I mean? So you have to know how to have the yin and the yang together. You have to embrace
Absolutely.
that, because the marketplace is a tough place. You're there to fight, you're hungry, but at the same time, you're not a soulless person. You know what I mean? So um, you're not killing yourself, but you're just knowing how to play the game. So you have to see how people who are already in that game play and think. How do they think? How do they react? The more you start watching and reading about this, their thinking is going to be a little bit embedded. You're going to start having less self-criticism and self-judgment. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't come naturally. You need to expose yourself to people who are like that, understand how they think, how they see things. So the more you stop judging yourself, because your focus will be on them and others, it's going to do better for you. And the other thing, affirmations. Every time in the morning and every time in the evening, you have to get affirmations which just talk about, you know, I am worthy, I am who I am, like something that accepts the new persona or the new uh, trait you want in yourself, because it's not something you were raised with. It's different um, when you're coming from a background which is very business savvy and very like the Trumps and the Obamas. They've been exposed to the fights and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, but I don't have that, definitely.
no. But what I mean is this. What I mean is, you can be a Tony Robbins, but you have to know how he does it. Not when he's teaching you, when he's around, or how he navigates such a world. How did an empath like him, a person who's so loving, so giving, how did he become to a place where he doesn't care about other people's opinion on him? He lives his truth. He says what he needs to say. Sometimes he gives tough love, but he still loves. So that's what I would want you to embody. I don't know if you would want that for yourself as well. The more you do that, the less you care about the post, how you feel, how you don't like, because it's just going to be like execute. It's almost like a soldier in a battle. You're not thinking about.
I get it. I get it. It's the, feminine and masculine energy, mixture, and actually I know that the way I've been raised and, and the way I approached, friendship and love and all this stuff, it was more feminine than masculine, even though like I'm a straight man, like, but I know that those are like more feminine characteristics, more than, no, but in the sense that the feminine is more like caring, is more careful about what the other people think, is more careful about what is said, of the consequences of what is said and all this stuff. Like, for example, the masculine, as you say, like, okay, I have to do this, I'm gonna do this. Like, you like it or not, whether you like it or not, I'm gonna do it. What do you think? I don't care what you think about it, I'm gonna do it. And all the,
When you say it like that, you make it so broad. When you say it like that, you make it, oh my God, we already passed out because we
yeah,
took a bit of time.
yeah.
We make it so broad. But I think it's beautiful when you feel, it's beautiful when you love. And I don't think it's a feminine quality personally. I wouldn't characterize it as that. I would say it's something that your children would need in future. It's something your mother, your father, your wife would really be appreciative because they don't want a cold-blooded animal, a psychopath. So that's very important. I think that's beautiful. And I actually admire that you have that. So
No,
with
but I like it too. Like, I realized I had to come to terms with it and say, okay, that's the way you are. Like,
Mhm.
and you have to accept it, even because it's like beautiful,
It's
and
beautiful.
it's the way a lot of people, are actually raised, because they care about other people. Like, that's
But
that's a word I would like to live in, honestly.
yeah, that's why I said culture. But in business, they are very lethal. You don't want to be a prey of other people to take advantage of, because when you're an empath, people can easily take advantage, and you're just being honest and people are just stepping on you. That's where I would want to be that person who says, if you have to bite, you have to bite. And how do you learn to embody that in your new stream? Because when you care so much about what everybody says, your voice dies. You can't hear yourself. It's hard to really see. That's why even right now, um, you might see a thing and want to ask, oh, what do you think you need, and what do you think that? But people have different approaches. Sometimes the more you ask, the more you can't hear yourself. So I want to touch that part of you, that the lying beast. I want to wake it up because you're an empath. So I just want that beast to, to like poke it a little bit and say,
I
just
know,
know
I know. It's my journey to toughen up.
that. But you
Let's
look
say,
tough. You look tough, actually.
because probably I'm actually tougher than I used to be like a year and a half ago. Like, I'm definitely tougher now. Like, easy,
Hmm.
because because I worked on it. I worked on myself, and I actually like really enjoy doing it.
Mhm. Wow, look at those names that I shared. Uh, you'll get much more from them than from groups, because when you look at some people's message will actually make you upset and say, wow, I do not like that. But being in business and trying to wake that part of you that maybe hasn't been out before, you need to expose yourself to such and then see if there's a part of you that you can identify in those people. And then if you find one person, latch onto them, so that by listening to them, they help you wake up the part of you that you feel you're connected to, but it's been dormant in you. And that's a person you can take to the time you're doing your post or whatever you're posting. And then the more you listen to them, the less you're going to have, because if you have everybody in society who sheds a light on care, 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 but it's not on a business mind that's going to be, I don't know, you just have to find your voice, but exposing yourself to more than one person is good. Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, Dean have almost a similar voice. I like Tom Bailey is a bit different to them. It's a little bit harsh, so that's good. But look at the other people too. They might be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know the guy. Like I know most of them. Like
Mm.
I don't like, for example, I don't follow all of them on social media, but I follow Gary Vee. I follow. I follow Steve Jobs. Unfortunately, he's not here, but of course, I know the guy. I know Oprah. I know Grant Cardone. I mean, I know the guys. What you mean is like. Not emulating them, like understanding how they reason, like how they approach life and business, basically.
Yes, so what you're getting from them is their philosophy. That's it. Because you've got Tony Robbins, and it's a good KBB lesson. But if there is still that a bit of a struggle, you need to go out of that lane and see others and see a part of you that maybe you don't see there that might be missing. Because sometimes when you see something that's within you that you've never seen, and then you feel a connection, it helps you wake up that side of you as well. It gives you confidence to say, well, it's okay, especially if you're so hard on yourself, I believe.
I'm not that hard on myself now. Like
Mm-hmm.
now I like to believe that I'm honest with myself. Like when I need to, I say, okay, today you haven't done enough, but not in a way you are so stupid you haven't done enough. Like in a way, objectively, you haven't done enough. Like what can you do tomorrow? Like to do more and to compensate. The fact that today probably you slacked a little bit. I try to be more objective and to be less judgmental.
That's good. That's good.
No, I know. I needed that. Like I totally needed that because before it was like all like you are so stupid kind of refrain.
Okay.
So that wasn't useful. Now before we go, like you suggesting also like I follow them on social media and stuff and say like comment on their posts like. How Gary Vee says, and also Russell says, like you should turn on notification, and every time they post, like you should comment a bit. Like, should I
Yeah.
do that?
Yes, you can. Because instead of you following people who are lost and asking them, because people say they think they know what they want, but they don't, follow people who know exactly what they're doing. The more you follow people who've got clarity, you have more clarity. The more you're in a place of people who are lost, you'll be more lost. That's why I talked about being a prey or being the predator. Since you're in a place where you're still trying to find out exactly what zone you are, the best place is with people who are already living a life that um, is successful in the business world, and then surround yourself with such people, because then you start getting their mindset. The Facebook groups, they're good if, let me
I
tell you.
want to get, I want to get started. I want to get conversation going. I want people to get to know me, and probably, if we open a goal and we do, some session, maybe, they will be happy with it, and I will have some testimonials and whatever.
Okay, so that's very good. Just remember, every time you say something, don't say maybe. Be very confident. Say you will enjoy it, that you will need this, because people are lost and they're looking for someone who's more clear. So the more you sound
Certainty.
yeah, they'll follow that. So the language, I think, start working on just that. Remember last time we talked about it?
Yeah. Sure. I remember.
So
And
you said,
what?
so you said you don't want to come off like this guru and come in and everything, but allow yourself to wear the crown. Don't let a title put you off. Even if it doesn't seem like you're evolving, you're changing, you're allowed to change every day until you find what fits. Take ownership of the crown you wear. You know what I mean?
The thing is, like I'm proud of the work I've done. I don't want to look superior or whatever. It's probably, as they say in KBB, you just need to stay one chapter ahead. You don't have to have all figured it out. Like, I'm just probably a few chapter ahead, and I want to have people, that are the level that I used to be, and I want to take them by hands and show them the way, if they're willing to do the work, of course.
I believe you know the way. I believe you know how you can help them. But the only thing I'm pointing at is the words. I know you have a lot. I can feel it. I can see it. I can feel the energy. I know it's there. But the wording sometimes, especially when we're talking, someone can think you're not sure of what you're talking about. So I'm just trying to say, okay, since I'm listening, maybe let's change the words, because we're not saying, oh, you're going to figure out everything. But how are you just going to sound more certainty? Because you can have certainty, but your language might not be aligned with a certainty. So
I think we are going full circle. It's probably because I think I need people to tell me, okay, what you are teaching me, like, is really helping me, like, it's really showing off results, and that probably, like, would be a huge surge of confidence for me. Like, as long as it stays here, or it stays, in my social media, I never done that, so who am I to talk to? As long, but in the moment that someone has something concrete, that they have done something because of me, like they have had results, they break barriers, they whatever, because of what I've done, like, that would be okay. Now I'm legit, like, now I can do it.
no.
I know I shouldn't need that, but probably I feel like I do.
No, you don't. You don't. You know, when I said affirmations, I want you to listen to affirmations that says I am powerful. Look on YouTube, affirmations
I
of
know.
self-belief. Don't say I know, like, listen to it, really listen to it. The more you listen to it, your language is going to start changing. When your language starts changing, you will not need outside validation, because you will find that voice and say within yourself. Because if someone never validates, that means you'll never be validated. So it needs to come from within. And I want to be that person who's going to help you, like, bring the focus back to you, because you do have it. When you speak to me, I see someone who's very confident. I see someone who can go there and, like, really help people and do stuff. But you've never done it before, it's new. That's the only reason you doubt yourself. So I wish you don't look for validation from outside and just look from within. That's it. Sometimes it can be, some people can say, oh, you're looking like it's too cocky or whatever, but confidence is very important. People who don't like confidence will have a problem with that. But if you have the confidence, people who are looking to have what you have will gravitate towards you. That's it. So you already have it.
Okay.
You don't believe it, you see now.
No, I do. I mean, I know it makes a lot of sense and stuff, but um, yeah, probably I have to work on it.
Okay. What can we do? What can we do together to help you in the next 1 week or in the next 2 weeks to start changing the script a little bit?
Oh, let me check. In 2 weeks is not gonna be 2020 anymore. Am I right?
I haven't even thought about it. I'm just enjoying every day. Let's see.
But the year has been. No, it would be like the 31st. Like, it would be the last day of 2020.
We could do Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have any kind of problem. So what could we do, to jumpstart next year? Like to start next year? No, I mean, I know, not to jumpstart next year, but also to enjoy these last 2 weeks of
We have to
this year.
finish it. We have to finish it before we start a new thing. We always finish. Ride it to the last day. When you finish, you enter with the same momentum in 2021. So, from the things we talked about either posting what you do every day in the morning. That could be one option. The second option would be you trying to create a landing page where you talk about positive things about awareness, personal development, perspective, and all that good stuff, where people can just leave their phone number and the information. So you start creating your contact list. It could be the other one, or it could be things talking about fitness. You're saying you're trying to decide between the two.
Not fitness exactly. Like not fitness, like more habits and productivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do that. So which one do you want to take on? Because you have to choose one.
I really like habits, actually.
The things you do in the morning, you said you work out and then...
Not only that, like habits in general. Like I'm really fascinated about the fact, that we automate a lot of stuff because, that's the way our brain works and saves energy, So I think it's really fascinating, and it's, for me, it's super important to learn how to leverage it in your favor rather than working against you.
Okay. After this phone call, do you have after this video call, do you have do you have 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Okay. You can go live on Facebook. I'll join your Facebook, and we can have 5 minutes just talking about habits, and we can just talk about Mark Zuckerberg, anything you know about that, or anything about habits for 5 minutes, and just leave it like that. You're thinking, you see?
Let's do on Instagram.
Sorry?
On Instagram.
Sure, no problem. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see. I don't think I have you on Instagram, so let me just look.
Yeah. No, go for the page. Go for the page. Is Advices for Growth.
Okay. Okay, one moment. Let me add you before
all straight.
Advices.
I have 42 followers at the moment.
Okay, that's fine. I don't see it. Accounts. I don't see it. Are you able to look me up and maybe...
What's your name on Instagram?
Pauline Coney. Like that.
How many followers do you have?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Pauline _ Connie.
I think so.
Okay, it should be you. Let me check. I sent a request. It is not you. Okay.
Let me see. Oh wait, what did I do? Oh, got it. All right. Go live. I'll join, and then I'll leave this Zoom call only after we've joined.
Okay. Oh, wait.
You see, I'm putting you at
yeah, that's... yeah, I know this moment should have come sooner or later, but I don't know if it feels icky.
It doesn't matter. You're taking action. That's what matters.
Yeah, I know. Okay, did you receive the request?
Yes, I already accepted it. I'm just waiting for you to go live and
Ah.
then I'll join. So
Okay.
what I'll
Okay.
do is, you can just go live and just talk about something that's been on your mind lately. And then I'll join into the conversation. You can just have been thinking about habits. Does anyone want to go live with me and stuff? And then I'll come in and then I'll help you take the conversation there, and then we'll see how we go.
I'm already overthinking it.
I know. I know. That's why I'm doing this, because now I have to torture you.
Okay.
I have to-
So see you in a few minutes.
No, right now. I'm waiting.
Yeah, in a few minutes. Like 2.
Are you going to?
We are not hanging up until I'm not going live. Okay. Okay, I get it. Now. Mm. Okay, where is it now?
Do you want me to go live, then you join me? Would you like that?
I have no. Let me do that because I don't know how to do that at the
Oh,
moment. I've never done it. I know there should be some buttons somewhere,
okay.
but I don't know where. Let me check.
When you see the word Instagram, next to it there's a plus button.
In diretta. Yeah. I got it. I get it. Okay. So you're gonna request to join, right?
Yep.
Okay.